Hello and welcome to Warframe. My name is Todd, also known as Magi Mech, and this is of course Warframe. Last time we did Hallowed Nightmares, Time Attack. Well, no, we didn't do the Time Attack, but we did Hallowed Nightmares, and we completed it. This time around, I stated that we would show off the fact that we had completed the Time Attack, which we did, and I would show off that the reward we got from it and all of that stuff. But you might notice I have a weapon on my back that is not the Boltar. Something went horribly wrong. When I was recording the previous, or the new upcoming episode, I messed up. I messed up pretty badly. I was unable to recover anything because I didn't actually record properly the entire video. So I did an entire episode worth of stuff and lost all of it. I'm really disappointed in myself. So the major things being is went over here, collected the Spectre, collected the new weapon that we just got. The one that I chose in between episodes, it was the Heck, and we did the couple missions that we did with the Heck. Big thing being is that when you come in here, you'll notice two things. One, we have an Orokin reactor installed on our Warframe, and we also have our Exilus adapter slot unlocked. So we completed a quest during the episode that was lost, called A Man a Few Words, and got us an Exilus adapter, which we've thrown in there. And we've also got our Spectres, which I've equipped, and I stated previously that you can throw those out similar to a grenade, and they summon a Spectre of whatever you chose. It should also be noted that when you use them, the grade of the Spectre, of course, depends on the level and changes the level. Effectively, the higher the grade of the Spectre, the higher the level the Spectre will be when you summon it. Should also as well be noted that during Nightmare missions, Spectres turn against you, so don't use any Spectres on Nightmare missions. Now, in the episode that I lost, I completed the Europa Junction and did a quest, as I stated previously, the Man a Few Words. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do exactly what I did previously. We're going to go do the Europa Junction here in a second, and then we will replay a Man a Few Words so it can be shown off. Now this is the Exilus adapter that we got, and we already installed on our Warframe. I wish I could go back and show that again, but again, I lost pretty much all the video. All I have left is an audio file at this point. So we'll just jump straight into things. We'll do the Europa Junction again, and then we'll go do A Man a Few Words again. Now, for me, I'm going to be doing this for the second time, so for you guys, of course, this will be the first time you're seeing it. Pardon me if I seem like I'm a little bit fed up, because of course I am. I'm doing this for the second time, and I didn't want to. We're just going to deal with the Spectre. So the Spectre, of course, as I said last time, is the Nova Spectre. She's quite dangerous overall. That aura that you can see on Taxon there, with the kind of like the sound waves looking thing, if Taxon was to take enough damage, would trigger and effectively make him explode. Nova also has these doors that are like teleportation points for her. I believe that ability is called Wormhole. Allows her to effectively move around very quickly. I also think I made a comment previously about the Heck and the way it fires multiple shots kind of at once, or has a lot of pellets that it fires at once for every bullet that you use, or every shell. Oh, I did also talk about the Hex mods. Because the Heck is a shotgun and not an assault rifle, it has a different set of mods. I'm not really going to go super much into that this time around, just because it's pointless. We don't really have a lot of mods to install on our Heck anyway. But there you go. And man, we catapulted her across the room. That was awesome. Oh, I can't keep using my weapons. That's a shame. But effectively, last time we sat down here, opened up the rail, opened up Europa. Pretty much what you expect. When you do the rails for a second time, well, that's all you get. We gotta just leave the junction. Not as exciting, but it'll have to do. You've seen effectively the cutscene previously. It's the same as all the other rails. But there we are. The Europa Junction complete. I think I made some minor comments about what we'd get with Europa Junction. I don't think it was anything super important. So we got two quests, the New Strange and the Limbo Theorem, which you might have already seen in our codex. The planet Europa is now open, so we will go across there eventually. It also has a pathway into the void, such as Phobos, so you can go into the void and do that sort of stuff. Don't really need to worry about that right now. I said previously we would focus on quests, and that's what we're going to do, because we have a couple we needed to get done. So, did complete a Man of Few Words. That is what we're going to do here in a second. Next time we will be doing New Strange and a Limbo Theorem. So yeah, let's just replay A Man of Few Words.
The Grenier have gone too far. They're about to execute one of my most trusted contractors. They say he's a traitor, and that he was trying to steal a priceless artifact. Baseless accusations. That's not the kind of business I engage in. So, what do you say? Will you help him out? And don't worry, you'll get paid too.
We'll definitely help out our good buddy. Previously, we had to go to the arena relay to start the quest A Man of Few Words and talk with Darvo. He'll pretty much give you like a little prompt when you go talk to him, which will allow you to get the mission. Then you go back to your orbiter, and then you start the mission, which is where we are now. Let's go rescue our contractor. Thankfully, Warframe has this ability to replay some of the quests in the game. Not all of them, so hopefully this doesn't ever happen again. But it's nice that we're able to redo it for this one time, hopefully. Hopefully only. Hopefully we never have to... God, I'm going to say hopefully a billion times before I'm done. I'm praying that I never lose any more footage in the future. Of course, it was my dumbass mistake when I was starting the recording for the previous thing, the way OBS functions, and that's the recording software I use OBS, is
These clouds are holding my contractor somewhere in this complex. Please find him.
It's not hard to use, but it requires you to select a specific window to open. And I did not select the proper window. I selected a different program, so all I had recorded was a black screen. Riveting, right? So these are this is basically the map of the Grenier Sublab, or Grenier Under Ocean Lab, I suppose you could say. You can kind of see that there's the ocean. We're in a lab underneath the ocean. We're going to go down these elevators and check it out. The Grenier Undersea Lab has some very good resources. It has gallium, it has polymers, it also has plastids. Plastids are great, of course. Hard to come by usually. The only one that's more annoying may be nanospores, but I think plastids are more annoying, honestly. As I've stated previously, don't use elevators if you can avoid them. They're slow. Besides, you can just be a badass and roll down. So our heck, which most shotguns in Warframe could be considered man cannons, because swear to God they just launch people across the room when you use them. It's very effective in these missions, and honestly we'll probably be using it quite a lot throughout here. Gotta be even more of a badass and land specifically on top of that guy with our weapon. Wasn't able to do that last time, but we're doing it this time. Alright. So we'll probably be maybe upgrading our heck over our Boltor, depending on how things go. Having a shotgun is more effective in Warframe, just because shotguns do such a large amount of damage. Similar to the sniper rifles, which I suggested previously, like the Vectis. The only problem with the Vectis, of course, is it requires spores, and this roller is making a fool of me. Outsmarted by a fucking bouncy ball. That's what I get for not being on top of my game after losing that recording. I am gonna show off a lot of the ragdolls just because I think they're absolutely hilarious. And I also am gonna rush through these kind of a little bit just because I want to get them done, and I know the last time I went pretty long, so the shorter we can make this, the better. These Grenier Sublabs, or Grenier Undersea Labs, have one major problem with them, which I brought up last time, and that's that the doors are spaced pretty far apart, meaning that enemies don't spawn very quickly. Enemies have a longer way to run to get to you when they spawn, because enemies spawn behind closed doors. So that overall just becomes a problem on missions like Civilian War.
Quick, before they do their worst.
Oh.
I want to play with these
So the one great thing about this is, wow, I don't remember that guy before. This is one of the hardest locks I think we've run into. It has all the things, all the little nodes, plus it reverses every time you use it. As you can of course see, I think that's the highest level that it gets to. It's rather difficult. The only thing that would make that more difficult would be later on in the game, you'll see ones that you can only fail a certain amount of times. I believe those are sortie level, and they're really annoying. Let's deal with this boss-like enemy here. So this is a guy we'll probably run into later on. He's a part of the Blue Strike 3, I think. And we also meet our good buddy.
No, Clem. No, they don't have your kakata. Just follow the channel, okay?
So, now Clem will follow us out of here, same way as any other rescue target. We just dealt with the member of the Group Strike 3. I don't think we fought him last time, honestly, but members of the Group Strike 3 you'll encounter throughout this mission, and later on we'll encounter them as kind of a similar alert like the Stalker is. They'll sometimes just attack you, though you have to complete missions against Grenier, specifically I think it's invasions against the Grenier. As you complete more invasions against Grenier, the chance of them appearing becomes higher. Eventually they'll just appear similar to the Stalker though. We're just gonna run through here. Clem's a good buddy of ours, and will be for the foreseeable future. He's a deformed or failed Grenier clone, I suppose you'd say. At least by the Grenier standards anyway. By our standards, he's a good buddy. By the Grenier standards, anyone who's not 100% loyal to the Queen is a failed clone. And Clem is definitely not 100% loyal. He idolizes the Tenno or Warframes, and kind of wants to be like us. We'll see more about.
Good work.
We'll see more about Clem and Darvo and how they interact with each other. Clem and his special language with Darvo, that is. Moving on to the next mission, we'll be getting Clem's signature weapon, which Darvo will tell us about here in a second. Oh, little hiccup there.
You did it. You got Clem. He's a special guy, you know. Little weird, but a hell of a fighter. And that's the thing. He still needs your help to retrieve his custom weapons.
Let's go get Clem's Grakatas. So, Clem's signature weapon, of course, is the twin Grakatas, and he uses them to great effect. Being the only two words that Clem knows, Clem and Grakata, kind of just fits. I think I could try and come up with a better joke than that, but I don't know. I'm just going to go with it. I'm kind of run down after losing that entire
Clem
set of
needs
footage.
to get back into fighting shape. Find his missing weapons.
So you might notice, of course, that Clem comes along with us, because unlike other quest givers, Clem's actually helpful. What were some of the other things I talked about? I don't think there's anything massive that I really brought up in this mission here, aside from the fact that we're just going through the C-Lab again, trying to get our good buddies' weapons. It should be around here. Boy, it never gets old watching them just go bang! And he's now across the map. Alright, so he got his weapons.
Clem, Grakata. Are you sure, Clem? Clem? Tenno, Clem wants you guys to go after the Grenier that stole his Grakatas. I'm just going to assume you're up for that. Check your map.
You know I'm always down to kill some more Grenier. Alright, Darvo. So, now Clem's got his Kakatas, he's able to help us fully. We're going to deal with the jerk that stole his weapons. Man, when Rhino lands, he definitely does it with a bang, doesn't he? Okay, so this guy who stole his weapons, of course, is another member of the Grease Train 3, who we will see once we get to him. I will say that the Grenier Sea Lab is kind of interesting in its looks. It's very flooded all over the place. Can we activate it? Yes, we can. This is something I didn't show off previously. In the Grenier Sea Lab, you can activate the Arcwing mode while in the water. It's the only way to swim. That's how effectively you swim in Warframe. And you can jump out of the water by coming to any platform similar to that one. Most of them are pretty clearly marked. It should be noted that any Warframe ability you had active while when you jumped into the water will be deactivated, such as Iron Skin or any buffs. Because Arcwing and Warframe abilities are separate. Though I'm sure most of you pretty much have understood that by now. What was he doing? He was just kind of T-posing there? That was kind of weird. Didn't see that before. Maybe he just spawned and I just interrupted that or something, I don't know. Give him a second just to get ready though. Gotta be honorable when we're fighting the Grenier at the very least. If we don't give him a chance, then it's nowhere near a fight at all. So, I made the comment before, and I'll make it again. We're gonna have a heck off. He's got a heck, I've got a heck, but my heck's better. Plus I'm Rhino, and I got a damage buff. So bring it, buddy. My heck is better than your heck. Come on. Boom.
Don't think he'll be messing with you again. Come on home.
And we proved that our heck was the better heck. Forgive me, I just like saying the word heck a lot. It's a fun word to say. Okay, running through here, we'll go to the next part of this mission, which is the final step. And also the part that is, I believe, repeatable. So, I made a comment previously, I think about at this point, that this next mission is one that will become a repeatable weekly quest that you can get. I will explain the rewards afterwards, though. Showing off this next part of the mission isn't all that difficult, but does bring into the...
Clem has his Kakatas. Now it's time to get down to business and liberate that artifact. If you help Clem, we can all share in the spoils.
Does bring into effect the fact that I'm saying and all rights so much all the time. But it does bring into light the mission in particular is quite difficult if you've never done it before, because it's another survival mission on an area where I stated that survivals are kind of difficult. If we had a Warframe that was a bit better suited to survival, this might not be such a problem, but we don't really have one of
This
those.
is it. The merchandise acquisition mission. You and Clem cause a ruckus, while my other operatives steals the artifact. Let them know you're here. They cut off life support. You going to let them intimidate you like that?
I haven't ever been intimidated by the
Hey,
Grenier
look,
yet.
these guys are dropping life support modules all over the place. That's convenient.
Not being intimidated by the Grenier is kind of like step one in Warframe. Effectively, we do have Clem with us, because Clem's awesome like that. He helps us out. And we're just gonna pretty much try and survive on this mission. I did make a comment previously that on these Grenier labs like this, the best place to
Hey, look, these
stand
guys are dropping life support modules all over the place. That's
is
convenient.
not the... you don't want to stand in a large room like you would in most other survivals. You want to stand in these hallways. They tend to be a better place to be, because there's lots of doors typically, and the enemies don't have to walk as far in between the doors to get to you.
Deal time. You interested in some half-price life support?
But
Just kidding. Here comes another.
Criminies, I hope he's not trying to sell me life support. But the big thing being, of course, is that just because the enemies don't spawn very quickly. These enemies tend to be a little bit tougher than some of the other ones that we've run into in the past. This mission is quite difficult overall. So we do want to be near our life support capsules, and we are pretty close in this hallway, I think. 'Cause we're only like a couple meters away, based on what the waypoint is saying. We only need to be somewhat close, and this is a really great spot. The enemies are coming in quite quickly. Last time, one of the last member of the Rooster Egg 3 did spawn while we were doing this. I don't know if he'll spawn again. But if he does, that would be nice to show it off. If he doesn't, effectively, last time, remember, the Rooster Egg 3 spawned as I was trying to pick up an air capsule. And the Rooster Egg 3 may not be extremely intimidating overall at this level, but they do still hit pretty hard. So letting them kind of wail on you is not the best. I think I had to like hide in a corner, trying to prevent myself from dying.
Capsule incoming.
Doing a lot better this time around, actually, than we were last. Oh, we did also run into an enemy that we probably won't see for some time, which maybe we'll run into again, which was Grineer Maniacs. Grineer Maniacs are a special spawn enemy, which can spawn just on any Grineer C-Lab mission. They're preceded by a very ominous laugh, and they're kind of like assassin enemies.
Capsule ready.
They teleport around, they kind of go invisible, they hit you very quickly, and they can stun you. Sometimes they go invulnerable, just to like damage. I don't really know what spawns that, just maybe taking too much damage, I'm not really certain. They're just very quick and agile enemies that are quite annoying. But they are the only way to get the Ash Warframe blueprints. So the only way to get the Ash Warframe blueprints is to kill a bunch of Grineer Maniacs. So if you don't have Uranus unlocked yet, and you're looking to probably get that, maybe redoing this quest a couple times might actually be beneficial to you. So it might get you a higher chance of getting some Ash Blueprint parts, but I don't even know if they can drop from these guys. Not in the specific mission.
Dropping another capsule.
As the actual enemies in the Grineer C-Lab tend to be far tougher than these enemies here. These are only like level 20 enemies, whereas the actual enemies in the Grineer C-Lab I think are level 30, if I'm not mistaken, or getting close to level 30. You might see that Clem's health is a little bit low there. Don't really have to worry about him. I stated previously, and I'll state again here real quickly, that if he goes down, we're able to pick him up the same way we would an ally. Oh, I guess I can... Oh, he just went down. Let's pick him up. I just saw the revive marker real quick, which is a red marker with a white border. Just pick him back up, he's back at full health, and he's ready to use his Katanas again. He uses them a pretty good effect, actually. He does a good amount of damage. But sometimes he gets stuck in a point when he doesn't do damage. I don't know what causes that sometimes. Man, there's a lot of really tough enemies here. There's 2 bombards, a bunch of heavy gunners, and the big bad, the guy just spawned. So we're gonna stomp real quick, try and deal with him. Oh, I just used up too much energy. I made a comment previously that you should never use more than the energy required to, or you should always save the energy required to recast Iron Skin. Just kind of like a basic thing. But I made a quick mistake there by not doing that. Let's deal with these bombards right off the bat. They tend to be doing more damage than the boss enemy here. Now we can work with him. He appears to be just an axe-wielding dude, so I think we're okay overall. Clem's kind of taking a lot of the fire from the other enemies.
Hey, don't forget about this capsule.
If you're ever wondering about what your ability's energy cost is, you can go into your escape window there, and I'll show that off in a second. I think I did last time. Clem fell down. Let's pick him back up. Not worried about getting hit too much here because we do have enough energy for our iron skin again. Dealt with the boss enemy. Let's go grab an air tank, or an air support tank, because we're running kind of low. But if you go into your escape menu and hit abilities, you can see the same ability readout you would at your arsenal, and it does list off how much energy it costs your abilities. Ours is currently iron skin, it costs 45, which means that as long as we have 45 energy, we can recast it at any point. Should always kind of hold on to that much, just at the very least on the Rhino. It tends to be the best tactic that I found.
You interested in some half-price life support? Just kidding.
Let's go use one more air support capsule, just because we're kind of low here.
Breathe easy, Tendo.
I did make mention previously that I changed around the mods on my Rhino, and you probably saw that when I went into my Rhino's arsenal. I showed off that I had installed the reactor and whatnot. One of the mods that I had installed was Streamline, which I highly recommend to upgrade as soon as you're able to, just because of the fact that it reduces the energy cost of abilities. And pretty much every Warframe will have at least one or two abilities that you want to use regularly, meaning that that's pretty much useful on every Warframe. I haven't found a Warframe yet that you don't want to use Streamline on. I'm sure there are some out there, but I don't know of them currently. At least not off the top of my head. I tend to prefer Warframes like Volt or Rhino though, just because either high damage or high survivability tends to be my preferred method. And Volt is one of the best DPS frames you can get, and Rhino is most certainly one of the tankiest frames you can get. It's nice that you can also get them quite early on. Volt, not so much though. Volt is not a frame that you can get very early on, though Excalibur is definitely not a bad choice in comparison. At least not early on. Though in the very end of the game, or late game stuff, near the end of the star chart, you'll definitely prefer a Volt over an Excalibur. Volt just tends to have far more uses when it comes to a lot of the stuff that you'll find at the end of the game. Clear rooms, very good with his 4 other things. His 4th ability is. I'm just rambling, trying to keep something going here as well, because I don't really know what to talk about. I think I had like a set train of thought last time around, but this time around I'm just trying to fill space. Heart's not in it. Heart was in it, but it's not in it now. Not die there to those heavy gunners. Oh, I did make a mention that if you are running a weaker frame for this sort of stuff, you'll probably want to level up your Taxon's molecular conversion mod, as that will get you more bonus shields. And the bonus shields you get from that do stack up over time, meaning you can kind of pool them up pretty good. And on less tanky frames than Rhino, that can be massively beneficial.
Supporting Orkin technical augmentation and tactical offensive device. It's super hard to say. Potato.
Clem.
So, I guess I can make a quick mention
what we need, so let's head home.
As we're running to the end here of the fact that this whole mission here with Clem and Darvo, mentions of the potato, are kind of references that the community came up with originally when Warframe was still kind of just getting started out. A funny bug that happened was Clem is based off of the buggy Grineer AI. There was some Grineer that attempted to imitate Tenno or like Warframe movements, and Clem was kind of spawned as a joke from that. It should also be noted that potato is become a term used to reference things like Orkin reactors and Orkin catalysts. So if you ever hear anyone say gold potato to reference an Orkin reactor, or blue potato to reference a Orkin catalyst, that's where it's from. You'd think they'd probably be in reference to Exilus adapters as well, but Exilus adapters don't really look like potatoes. Alright, so let's go see Darvo at his shop to finish out this mission. So you start at Darvo's shop and you'll end at Darvo's shop as well. I did make a quick mention of when we're running through relays, you can get anywhere in a relay just by walking there. There is, of course, just a physical location, so you can just walk to wherever you're going. Just right through this front entrance here, you can just walk there to wherever you're trying to go. Or you can fast travel, which is what I tend to do to the popular areas.
Here's the hero. Clem is very glad you saved him from certain death.
Clem, Darkata.
Oh yeah, and that you got his Grakantas back too.
Clem.
And I'm happy to have this fancy Orcan relic. Here's a little something as a symbol of our appreciation.
And there we go. That finishes off A Man of Few Words. Introduces us to our good buddy Clem. Kind of all the things that we can do, and that last part of the quest effectively is the thing that you will do for the weekly quest. It has a high chance to spawn the Grease Drag 3 or Grenadier Maniacs, so if you're trying to farm those enemies, you can definitely come back and do that mission every week. But we're not going to worry about that, at least not at this moment. That finishes out the quests and pretty much redoes everything that we did previously in the episode that I lost. We'll call it here. Next time, as I stated, we'll be doing the New Strange, and then after that we'll do the Limbo Theorem. I did want to show off that as a reward from that quest you did get the Exilus adapter, which, as I said previously, unlocked the Exilus slot, and I'll show that off here in a second. But you also got the Clem clone blueprints. Every time you do one of the weekly quests to help out Clem, you get a Clem clone blueprint, and you can effectively just summon Clem in any mission you want, which is kind of cool. So, in Warframes, our basic Volt, for instance, doesn't have a Orcan reactor installed, nor does it have the Exilus adapter, which unlocks this slot here. We don't have Platinum to buy one, but we used it on our Rhino to unlock
There's a time
that slot.
alert available. Check navigation.
And so we would have put in something better if we had something instead of Beast Whip, but we just didn't really have anything else. This mod here, by the way, Streamline, is the one I was referring to in the mission. That's the one that, if you get it early on, definitely max it out as soon as you're able to. It's a fantastic mod for pretty much every Warframe. That pretty much covers everything I did previously. Hopefully next time I'll be a little bit more enthused, because I won't have redone, that is, the missions. So, until then, goodbye.